national currency. It's painful subject, especially for Ukraine. You see, Ukraine suffered a lot in 2008. It's compared to the US dollar. A lot of loans and credit was issued in the US dollars or euro. So change of exchange rate was something very bad to our countries. So we have a lot of bad debts because of that. Consumption. Consumption had worse. Fast-moving consumer goods. As we see, it's a 6% average all across the CIS. Foodstuff sales are quite stable. Non-foods fall considerably. It's quite normal for normal trend for crisis times. So prices of foods increase due to the fall of national currencies. It's like before you saw we import a lot of goods. As I told, a lot of countries highly depends on import, and it's times when we have considerable change of exchange rate, and a lot of goods are imported. We have rise of prices, huge rise of prices. Social situation. Okay, trends are quite different. But personally, I like the chart about average salaries. It can give you a good idea about social situation. As you see, Russia has the biggest salaries in the CIS. Tajikistan has the lower, and as you see, red color shows that in 2009 we had a reduction of salaries, average salaries all across the CIS. We are coming to credit practices and start talking about it. Consumer crediting is developed mostly in the European part of the region. It means Belarus, Ukraine, the Baltics, European part of Russia, Moldova probably too. Cash credits prevailed in 2008 and now too. Credit cards is not reliable for now, and people prefer cash in our states. Until 2009, USD and euro loans prevailed, mortgages and car loans. Now the situation is changing due to governmental bans which were put on loans in foreign currency. Now in most of the state, it is not legal to issue a credit in foreign currency, only local currency. Risk management. Risk management becomes more professional product after rising of BTS portfolio. In 2010, the volume of loan issue becomes to grow. The situation is something like banks have money now, but risks are still high, and they remember the fall in 2008, and they are afraid to lend money. As for other business, particularly small and medium business, risk management is weak. I'll tell you, it's almost zero. Credit reporting is not popular. Probably 90% of business don't know what is credit report at all. And of course, they do not use it. Credit insurance is not developed. Credit and risk management in the region, we are continuing. In the left, you can see countries where we have collection business, and the figure near the country shows the year when collection business was established. The first were Russia. Their credit book started in 1999, so they were first faced by problems with bad debts. Kazakhstan started in 2006. Ukraine started in 2006, and GCS one of the first companies who started B2B collection in Ukraine. Azerbaijan have nothing. Belarus started in 2009, and our partner in Belarus was one of the first companies established in debt collection business in Belarus. Kyrgyzstan has nothing. Moldova was established in 2010. Actually, there is only one company, collection company in Moldova, and it is GCS. Georgia was started with collection business in 2009. Tajikistan had nothing. Armenia started recently. I know only about one collection company in Armenia. But it's something different. They're closer to European Union, and they started this collection business in 1990s. Main facts about industry. As you see, credit in this market is no more than 5 years old in the region. Say nothing about this. There are professional associations of collectors in Russia and Ukraine only. Four most developed countries in credit and risk management are Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and Ukraine again. Okay. Again, say nothing about Baltic. They're closer to European Union. Debt collection business are mostly consumer collections. B2B collection is not quite developed, and we are just started to understand what is B2B. About different sectors of credit management, credit reporting. In most countries, credit reporting is a specialization of separate countries, credit reporting agencies. But we have no more than 12 credit reporting agencies in the whole CIS. So it's quite a small figure. In most countries, there is no governmental regulation of credit reporting. So there is no licenses, no professional insurance, no special law about it. So everybody can start credit reporting agency for now. Some indicators is usually delivery time for reporting in English language is from 7 to 10 days. Subject national ID is highly desired to be able to obtain correct report, because we have in all the countries we have a lot of companies with similar names. So ID is a thing we need to provide good report. As for financial data, usual delay is 3 months, so you can see it's not very fresh in any report from any company. Information about private individuals, private credit reports is not allowed in the most of companies. So if you like to get a credit report, probably you will get it, but do not expect to get much information about some person. Debt collection. As I told, it's mostly consumer. No collection, no fee in principle is applicable, but not always for commercial debt collection. Some agencies still charge some fixed fee before accept case. It's not about GCS. GCS work with no collection, no fee in all countries of CIS. The other thing which is not usual for Western business is we are not allowed to accept money from debtor directly. So debtor must pay the creditor only. In most countries, there is no governmental regulation of collection activity, no licenses, no professional insurance. Again, about contract and documents, you should have to obtain good collection in CIS. It is contract. Contract is obligatory in most cases. Sometimes other documents are sufficient, but it is better to have written contract to obtain good collection. Okay, debt purchase. Debt purchase is something very new for CIS, and it is developed only in Russia, Ukraine, and Baltic. Not quite developed, but we have Russia, Ukraine, and Baltic have debt purchase possibilities. But the specific of that, debt are bought by collection agencies, not by specialized funds, but by collection agency. And the largest collection agencies still search for investors for purchase them. They have no own money to do that. Investigations. Again, no regulation of this investigation activity, no licenses, no professional insurance, nothing. Because of that, investigators has no special status, so they have no special rights, special possibilities. They have no special documents, nothing. Some investigation agencies act outside the law. So I personally recommend to apply only for reliable agencies because we have some cases with police in Ukraine, for example, we had cases when police closed detective investigation agencies because they acted outside the law. Bribery is common problem for the all CIS. So sometimes probably you should So about bribery, yeah, it's common practice. It's a problem in all CIS states. About personal tracks and tapping of telephone lines, use of other special technical equipment is not allowed in the all CIS states, and it is thing which is constantly surveilled by national security agencies. The other thing which is related with lack of law about investigation is that evidences obtained by investigator cannot be used in courts. So that's a problem. Okay, what about trends in 2010, 2011? We expect that some countries will adopt special laws. Probably it will be Belarus, Ukraine, Russian Federation. I don't know what's the chances, but it may happen this or next year. I expect that first collection company to be registered in Azerbaijan in 2011 because Azerbaijan guys are talking about collections, so I expect we will have collection companies soon. As for B2C collection companies, they faced huge problems during the crisis because bad debts and high competition. So I expect some of the companies will be sold to large international companies, large international nets to survive. Dumping of prices is expected in B2C collection again because of high competition. Banks continues to develop their own debt collection departments to process their bad debts themselves. What it means that collection agency gets less and less work because banks prefer to process their portfolios themselves. That process is